When I was 16, I tried to kill myself for the first time. My name is Michelle Moon. I'm 18 years old, currently living in Fort Collins, Colorado, a city that has a population that is over 80% white. Rated one of Newsweek's best places to raise your kids, I never really ran into much direct racism growing up, but I am living proof of why stereotypes based on race, ethnicity, and gender can be extremely harmful. I was raised in your typical Asian household. My parents always wanted the best for me, so they pushed for me to be the best. I strived to be valedictorian from the age of 5, learned complex sonatas on the piano at age 8, and did every extracurricular activity possible. My mom was the typical tiger mom. And I wasn't alone. My closest friends in high school were also Asian, and they also met the same stereotypes set forth for Asian kids. The pressure to perform is immense, and in some cases, children break down. I did, and I have learned to not be ashamed for it. In Asian culture, mental health is a clear stigma. My parents were definitely not accepting of my disorder in the beginning stages of treatment, and I was pushed in the same ways I was before I was diagnosed. Had my parents immediately sought professional help for me, maybe many of these problems could have been avoided. American culture is lucky in the fact that mental health is highly regarded compared to most other countries. Because I had been raised by my parents' cultural beliefs, I began to hide from my own mental problems. I convinced myself that I didn't have a problem. Because in Asian cultures, you take whatever your parents say as the absolute truth. And since my parents didn't believe mental health was a problem, I didn't either. So my parents hid my medication from me, and I wasn't allowed to go to therapy. And this inevitably led to me overdosing 5 more times in high school and during my first year of college. The disdain for mental health in Asian and other cultures is a major problem. I know I am not alone in living with a mental disorder while having the pressure to be perfect because of these stereotypes. Korea has one of the highest suicide rates in the world because of their teenage mental health issues that go untreated. I pushed for professional help when I needed it, even though my parents didn't want to pay, nor did they want that sort of stigma in their household. But I kept pushing for help, and each attempt of suicide has brought them to where they are now, accepting of my condition. Now, maybe you might think that using suicide as a means to an end is not the right thing to do. But the fact of the matter is that I have changed this in my own life. Like, being in hospital has made me realize that I couldn't listen to what Asian culture said on mental health. I didn't want to deteriorate to the point where I would lose my own humanity, like the people in hospital who refuse care. Currently, I'm on lithium and Zoloft and going to weekly therapy. And I want to share my story to prove to those in cultures who stigmatize mental health that their stereotypes can be changed. My experiences have taught me that I can be my own person and do not have to constantly conform to the stereotypes set forth by my culture.